Hello, comrades, and welcome to my channel or my echo chamber. At this point, I don't even know if I can call it a channel at all because barely anyone watches my stuff. It's like talking to a brick wall. I guess YouTube doesn't care about the little guy. They would rather push Jake Paul's content as they go about their day taking selfies with dead bodies in the woods. Enough of me whining like a bitch. Let's get to the juicy part, and that is getting rich quick, like crazy rich within a year or less. I'm here to tell you that it is possible. It's actually easier than you might think. And no, it's not about buying those online courses that promises you an easy 8 figures a year salary. It won't get you anywhere. Trust me, I tried it. I'm a living testimony. The solution, and the only solution to making it big really quick, is becoming either a politician or a criminal. You can pick either one that best suits you, but as for me and my family, we chose the latter. But you might be asking yourself as to why do politicians and criminals have it easy when it comes to accumulating wealth? Well, ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen because most of my few viewers are male. I'm here to explain as to why criminals and politicians have it easy to accumulating wealth as compared to the vast majority of us who are barely scraping by and drowning in debt. There is a thin line between politicians and criminals. Most of the times, it's hard to differentiate between the two, but in actual theory, they should be different. First, let's take a closer look at the world of crime. Despite the age-old saying that crime doesn't pay, crime actually does pay, and it pays very well. Well, at least while you're out of jail, but once you're in, you'll be picking up the soap, and you'll be picking it more than once a day. The money in the crime world usually comes in fast and in huge quantities. Many of the prolific bank robbers can get away with more than $10,000 in one day. I know $10,000 might not sound like a lot, but that's just one day's worth of work, more like a salary of an investment banker made in one day. On the other hand, jail is not a place for the faint of hearted, especially if you're a pretty boy. Instead of dancing on TikTok, you'll be dancing for 10 dudes in jail. Another example is cocaine or white gold or the devil's dandruff. Call it what you want, but this price has been steadily increasing since the 70s. Cocaine prices mostly depend on how far you are from its source. The further away from the source, the higher the price it fetches. For example, a gram of cocaine may cost $4 in Colombia, but if you get it all the way to Kuwait, the same gram could fetch up to $330. Most high-profile criminals such as El Chapo and Pablo Escobar used to be featured in Forbes magazine, alongside Bill Gates and other notable tycoons, not only in the drug trade but also in the financial crimes. Financial crimes also fetch a high price. Crimes such as insider trading, Ponzi schemes, pump and dumps, and fixed matches are also very lucrative. Just take a look at Bernie Madoff and the amount he made. He turned out pretty well until it all went collapsing. Please note that this is only for educational purposes and I'm not advising anyone to cross into Mexico to join the Sinaloa cartel. It's either you end up dead or in prison or rich. It's quite ironic how life is. While Mexicans are crossing the border to work as gardeners in the US, Americans are crossing the border to join the Sinaloa cartel. Life is weird that way. Okay, enough about talking about criminals. Now let's talk about politicians. Being a politician is the greatest career choice one can make in his life. I don't know about the US, but in most African countries, one can enter politics as a poor man and come out the other end filthy rich. Now, the simple and straightforward answer as to why politicians and criminals have it easy when it comes to accumulating wealth is rules. Rules and laws. You see, rules and regulations are a set standards by which we distribute the limited resources on earth to the best of our capabilities. Without these rules and regulations, humans would be robbing and plundering each other. Without the incentive to produce, everyone would be just taking and taking from each other. The majority of those who accumulate the wealth either make the rules or just ignore them entirely, like they don't exist. Unlike us regular people, politicians are far ahead when it comes to capability. They can bend the rules of engagement or just entirely erase them to write new ones, which best suits their needs. They are like DJs in a nightclub. They can change the music at any time, and all of us have no choice but to keep on dancing. While politicians are busy making rules and regulations, criminals are there to ignore them. That's basically their job, to ignore rules and operate on their own terms. While most of us law-abiding citizens are barely scraping by, some guy is making about 9 figures a month selling rusty guns to rebels in Congo and will probably get away with it. Out of 10 criminals, only about 3 will be brought to justice. The other 7 will go ahead to become rich. So there you have it. No need of buying an online course to teach you how to become wealthy. Just become a criminal or a politician, and in no time you will be wealthy, enjoying your vast riches on a Caribbean island with 7 blonde women. And the sweetest part is that the barrier for entry is low. In politics, all you have to do is lie your way to the top, promise people flying cars, promise them wars to keep the Mexicans in Mexico, promise all the incels a girlfriend each, and before you know it, you'll be in the top office making all the rules and erasing the ones you don't want. When it comes to the criminal underworld, one piece of advice I can give you is that don't get caught. Stay out of prison. Don't draw unnecessary attention to yourself. Stay low key. That might sound like an oversimplification, but that's the best career advice I can give to an aspiring criminal. Don't draw unnecessary attention to yourself. As soon as you start posting pictures on Instagram with 20 models in a jacuzzi, people will start asking questions, just like they did with Hash Papi. It's highly unlikely for an already established criminal to get into politics. Pablo Escobar tried it and miserably failed, but it's highly likely for an already established politician to turn into a criminal. They erase all of the established rules or just become immune to them. Examples of these men are Charles Taylor of Liberia, Papa Doc of Haiti, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, and Mugabe of Zimbabwe. These people are what I would call criminal politicians. They massively enriched themselves and sucked all of the values from their respective countries when the general public survived on barely $1 a day. So, in conclusion, the only thing standing in your way of that sweet Lamborghini are the rules. If YouTube terms of service allowed the use of bots, I would have been buying fake views just to pump up the numbers and get to Mr. Beast types of views, but they don't allow. So I'm forced to bear with 20 views on one videos. So there you go. You don't need to erase or break any rules. You just have to become clever enough to evade them. Bill Gates or the lizard guy who created Facebook didn't get to where they were without upsetting a few people. I might sound like a broken record at this point, but let me just repeat myself for one last time. This video is only for educational purposes. If you break rules and you find yourself in jail, I won't be there to protect you when you drop the soap or send you money on your commissary. You are on your own. Speaking of money and prison commissary, I do have a Patreon. It's only $5 a month. If you want to help out, the link is in the description. I have about 7 baby mamas and a dying YouTube channel to save. Please help save it. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.